Do you know what I find really interesting when it comes to this month, in particular when it comes to you, my gorgeous Aquarius? Indeed, the fact that a certain communication which you are going to open, which you are going to start, which you are going to begin, is going to change absolutely everything. Every single part of your life, every single element of your life is going to start changing after this moment in time. And in particular when it comes to the actual 11th of December and until the end of that month, and it's going to take place and happen and manifest in between the 11th of December and the end of that actual month. I mean, you are not even going to be able to explain this, to be quite honest with you, but I know at the same time that your intuition is just literally going to take over, and something is going to be guiding you within, like so strongly, in a very, very interesting and unique way. You're gonna feel something that you didn't feel in a long time, and in particular when it comes to the last 34 to 36 months. Within the last 34 to 36 months, you did not feel such a powerful sense of energy and the vibration that it's actually going to come out of it. Most certainly something is going to be revealed to you at that very moment in time, and just remember, it's all about opening up yourself and starting this particular communication. And you know what? It's also kind of going to come out of the blue. It's going to happen out of the blue. It's going to manifest out of the blue. But an important thing to say is that it's actually going to take place in between the 11th of December and the end of that month. That communication that I'm talking about, you know, it's just going to start like a spiritual domino. You are going to start that communication. You are going to start that process. And at the same time, this is going to be very significant when it comes to a rather powerful progress in your life, because you're going to find out things that are like quite unusual but very interesting at the same time. But most certainly this is going to be super beneficial for you, because by the time you get to the actual last part of December 2021, and in particular when it comes to the last 3 days of December, basically it's all about you getting a strength. It's all about you getting a balance. It's all about you having a control over situation. There is a very important truth that is really going to overpower this whole situation. It's about the truth. It's about your eyes being open, but at the same time having that relevant balance, which is most certainly going to help you to make one of the biggest adjustments of your life. This is all pretty much so going to really confirm something so important to you, but at the same time it's about the actual, you see here you've got a 4 of coins here. At the same time it's going to redirect you towards things that you should be doing. You will know exactly that there are certain things that you should not worry about whatsoever. It's absolutely pointless. But on another hand, it's all about you focusing on what your next step is going to be. But at the same time, do not forget that there is a very important unfinished business that you're gonna have to deal with. There is an unfinished business that is pretty much so going to be very strong part of all these elements that I said so far, and that in itself it's also going to be quite significant when it comes to the last week of December 2021, where you're going to feel very strongly like a strong sense of, like, again, like something to do with your past and when you used to enjoy yourself, the way you used to do things. You know, this is all going to make sense, but at the same time it's an important insight that you're going to become aware of. So just do not forget about the unfinished business. It's something that you have karmically started, and this is also going to become super evident in between the 11th of December at the end of that month. So it's an unfinished business, something that you've started in the past, and it's just going to come to you just out of the blue. It's just going to come to you. Suddenly you're going to feel a very strong sense of connection to that part of your life. So it's something that you have left behind, and something that is going to bounce back, and something that is like you're going to be reminded by this, what this is. And it's important to pay attention to it, because this is an integral part of your spiritual journey, and it's required from you to take it on the next level. Look at this. This is about to bring you hope. This is about to bring you strength. This is about to inspire you. This is about to make you feel good about yourself. This is about to give you a very strong sense of direction in your life where there wasn't direction for a while, when you felt a little bit lost, when you felt like a little bit uncertain, you know, because you kind of have found yourself like stuck in the process. There were like things that you wanted to do, achieve, create, make, but you simply couldn't. So this is all going to be connected. It's going to boil down to the fact where you are gonna have a remarkable, mind-blowing opportunity with unlimited possibilities, and this is gonna inspire you like there is no tomorrow, and it's going to happen at exactly the right time. December is in itself a rather powerful month in many different ways, because now we are reaching pretty much the end of the year, but at the same time that same energy, it's very powerful when it comes to its vibrational pull, which at the same time it does give us the opportunity to kind of like get things sorted really quickly, and it does give us that power which reflects on us like reacting rather quickly when it comes to certain things in our life that we would normally be like, oh God, you know, I don't want to do this, you know. It's very important indeed. My name is Sasha Bonasin, and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Aquarius, and it's for December 2021. So this monthly horoscope tarot card forecast is for you, my gorgeous Aquamarini, and it's for December 2021. And you know, your number when it comes to the actual numerology, it's a number 73, which means that throughout this month you are going to feel really sharp. Throughout this month you are going to feel inspired, and there are a couple of things that you're going to feel inspired by, and you're going to be like blown away, like, oh my Lord, how do I feel so inspired by this? You know, this is really surprising me. But this is two particular things, but this in itself is going to mean so much, because you will know that you are like a spiritually evolving, and that later on, few days later, it's going to make you to kind of like pay attention to certain things, like when it comes to your relationship, when it comes to your like a life, you know, when it comes to your, like a family life, and the people who are very close to you, you know, because something is going to be quite evident when it comes to somebody needing help, somebody who's like pretty much so very close to you, very important to you in your life, is just gone like a little bit off the rail, you know. It's doing something that they shouldn't be doing to themselves. Maybe they have been misled by somebody else, or they have done something like maybe they've gone wrong down the wrong routes, you know, when it comes to like maybe addictions and things like that, and now it's just starting to take the better of them, because it's starting to affect them like pretty much so very strongly. And I think that you're going to become aware of, so that you have got the power, you have got a healing energy in order to make them feel so much better about themselves, and it's also you have got the power and energy to kind of like talk to them, and you know, like what you say just rings in their mind like very beautifully and spiritually, and they're able to understand you purely because or they're able to understand you in very high spiritual level purely because your energy is naturally rather healing. So this is something really that you need to pay attention to it, because somebody needs your help who is very close to you, but they're gone off the rail, they've gone off the road a little bit, and it's to do maybe like with a certain addictions and things like that they shouldn't be actually doing, or they have been misled by the rather kind of negative entity, you know, but you are going to become aware of, so you are going to be able to step in and help them out, and this is gonna pretty much are going to reflect on every single aspect of their life. This is going to mean to them a lot. On another hand, 73, it's a very powerful number when it comes to also having a very strong sense that somebody is with you, and at around, it's either going to happen on the 7th of December, either it's going to happen on the 17th of December, or it's either going to happen on the 27th of December. You see this little 7 baby? It's very important indeed when it comes to your strong connection with the spirits, with the spirit world, but most importantly when it comes to your guardian angel, because the guardian angels and your spirit guides, because there is going to be a very strong sense that someone is around you, something is around you, but it's more about what you're focusing on at the same time. What is creating your problem, because that in itself, it's also beautifully going to reveal to you slowly, nicely, beautifully and gently what the next step of your life is going to be. And this is going to be so connected to what was on your mind. So when you become aware of that spirit or something around you, at the same time you just need to see what is at that very moment in time blocking you, what is like preventing you to move on, what is worrying you, what is making you feel really negative, but also at the same time it's bringing you an important right answer that the things are going to be absolutely fine about that specific thing that you're like really pretty much worrying about, but also it's so connected to the next stage, because this is also kind of slowing you down a little bit. So this is all going to make sense, my gorgeous Aquamarinis. It's an important moment in time. Number 73 means that also you need to remember that there are going to be certain challenges that you are going to have, but also on another hand, you know, you are going to have a certain challenges this month, my gorgeous aquamarinis, of course, but you need to remember me, you need to understand this, that these challenges that you are going to have, you are going to be able to face them when it comes to the month of December 2021, another time when you're going to feel so powerful. But sometimes we are very powerful, but we are not even aware of it, you know, or aware of our own power, or aware of our own strength at that very moment in time. So somehow you're going to be reminded pretty nicely, and this is going to also open your eyes, because somebody who is very close to you and important to you is going to kind of pinpoint something very unique and very beautiful and very specific about yourself. And this is the reminder that you needed so much, but it's also at the same time going to refresh your memory how important people are in our lives, who are meant to be in our lives. Just remember this. This is all at around the spiritual domino that I'm talking about. The second stage of you being able to face your challenges ahead on such a large scale, the second stage of this, the second dimension, it's going to happen in February 2022. Of course it's going to happen in February because this is your time, my gorgeous aquamarini. So this is when your energy is going to be kind of like a very powerful and very strong and very unique in the best possible way when it comes to manifestation and achieving things, because naturally this is your time. So naturally you're going to be kind of illuminate, you're going to be able to illuminate, you know, your own path in a very kind of high extent. On another hand, what else I was going to say, you know, my gorgeous aquamarinis, this is a very complex month, because also at the same time, just remember what I just said, 73, it's a very powerful number when it comes to numerology and when it comes to spirituality and when it comes to many other things. So you are going to be having a very powerful sign. You will know that you're on the right path, and you will know that you're going to do really great. You will know that you're going to really well. At the same time, it's so important to understand that you have to communicate as much as you can. Not only when it comes to like your work and things like that, things that you're trying to achieve, you know, but also when it comes to people in your life. Communication is more important, and the teamwork is more important throughout this month than absolutely anything. Because through you communicating, there are so many things that you're going to find out. You know, there are so many psychic channels that you're going to open up within yourself. Remember how I started this reading. This is one particular communication is going to change absolutely everything. This is very important for you to understand, my gorgeous aquamarinis, indeed. And also on another hand, you are going to hear some really kind of harsh truth, you know, but you know, this is so important. And that harsh truth that you're going to hear, I need you to understand that this is so important for you to understand. This is so important for you to realize that it's having a very strong element with you being held down without even realizing. You have to be honest with yourself, and you have to give credit to yourself, because your intuition was telling you something for a while, but you have been ignoring it, you see, just a little bit. This is nothing unusual. I'm not having a go at you, but I'm just saying that this is going to become quite evident this month, because it was something that was subconsciously stuck in your mind, you know, in your subconscious mind, which you are going to have a very important confirmation here. And it's going to be, oh God, you know, a bit of a harsh truth, you know, but remember, harsh truth is going to set you free. Harsh truth is better than a soft lie. So just remember this. It's a more important time than ever. And also on another hand, you know, every single time throughout this month when you feel like you want to kind of reorganize things, you know, that same energy is going to be so beneficial, and it's going to be keep on inspiring you. So as soon as you kind of project your mind and your energy towards things that you want to organize, especially reorganize, especially those things that are bringing you down, that are making you negative, making you sad, or making you unhappy, you know, this is the sign that karmically you need to pay attention to it, because something is coming to an end. A need for balancing when it comes to priorities in decision. This is very important, you know, to pay attention to your balance, to pay attention to priorities and the decisions that you're going to need to make, because that in itself, it's pretty much much so going to lead towards an important success. You know, there is a very powerful news or information that you're going to have also. Number 73, when it comes to numerology, it's also about an important news, an important information that you're gonna have. And this is when I get really excited, you know, because it's something to do with what you it's to do with you waiting for a long time. It's to do with you kind of like a waiting for this certain stability, and it's what you were kind of like pretty much so at some moment in time you were blaming yourself, you know, over the last 19 months that you've made a certain mistake, and that in itself kind of slowed the process down. So it's about something being really slow, and it's about something not coming out the way you wanted to be, and this affected you because, you know, you expected that particular situation and path in your life to kind of evolve to a much higher stage. So this is why this affected you. So this is why this information and news is going to be so important to you. So it's about the material attainment. You know, you're going to find yourself, this is going to surprise you, but in the best possible way. So you're going to find yourself in an advantage, you know, and that it's going to reflect a new feeling on your own stability, but also at the same time a rather victorious moment in time. So it's a very important message that you're going to have, and I'm so happy for you, because at the same time you will know that this is the beginning of your own personal transformation. And when you're going through your own personal transformation, you know, this raises your vibration. And at the same time, when our personal vibration is raised, you know, you need to understand it's very important to drink lots of water. So this is what I would highly recommend to you throughout this month. Indeed, try to drink as much water as you possibly can, because, you know, there is a lot that you're going to be going through, a lot that you're going to find out, and this is going to be draining you in a very unique way, purely because your vibration is going to be very kind of powerful, reason, you know, to a very high extent, which is on another hand going to require from you to drink as much water as you can. Very important advice you're going to get. So now let me just get this straight. You are going to have a very important message, information, and this is going to make you feel so good. It's about your own accomplishment. It's going to make you feel so good about yourself. It's going to open your eyes. It's going to give you control over a situation. It's going to give you strength. It's going to give you confidence. It's going to give you self-esteem. This is all really important when it comes to the next stage of your life, which is going to be rather significant in February 2022, purely because you're going to plant a certain spiritual seed, which is going to be way more important and way more significant than you could possibly imagine. And this is where the little surprise is going to happen for you in February 2022. So you can pretty much use this to your own advantage when it comes to like doing things, making things, starting things, beginning some kind of adventure, or being in a very explorative mode at the same time, but also starting new things, beginning new things when it comes to your life, like not necessarily changing your direction completely, but bringing new things into your life. In terms of like spirituality and planting something very important, you are going to do just that, and this in itself is going to be absolutely evident in February 2022. At the same time, you need to pay attention to when you get hold of that information and a message about the accomplishment. There is a very interesting advice that you are going to get through somebody who is very powerful figure in your life when it comes to their spirituality, somebody who you really look up to, somebody who means to you so much, somebody who understands you on such a high and powerful level, somebody who understands you more than you understand yourself sometimes. You know, that's how you feel with these special people in our life. There is someone very special in your life who is actually going to give you an absolutely mind-blowing, very interesting advice, and that advice is going to be pretty much so connected to with what your next step should be, but also at the same time it's going to really show you and help you to understand why you had a certain difficulties when it comes to like launching new projects, for example, or wanting to launch new projects, wanting to start new projects, wanting to begin new projects. So something is going to be revealed here for you, and it's going to be so important because it's going to reflect on your bravery, capacity, and your own strength, because you know you will understand something that you didn't understand before, pretty much so when it comes to the making the next step, but also this powerful vibration is just gonna regenerate you, you know, it's gonna re-energize you like there is no tomorrow. The certain sacrifice is most certainly going to be absolutely obvious, but this is going to be absolutely tiny in compare to how exciting you are going to feel about the next step in your life. When it comes to your health, my gorgeous aquamarinis, as I've already mentioned, it's like, oh my lord, you know, it's very important to actually drink as much water as you possibly can throughout this month. And as I mentioned before, try to avoid sugar like completely. It would be absolutely fantastic if you try to avoid sugar completely, because sugar is absolutely vile. So try to take something like organic maple syrup or maybe organic honey, but with organic honey it's very difficult to find the pure honey anymore, because the people are just like, my lord, they're mixing honey up with any sort of rubbish, you know, and it's this creamy thing you get, you know, and it's like very difficult to find like a real honey. So that's why I suggest like organic maple syrup. But then again, if you do like know someone locally or someone who is close to you who is making real honey, then you just go for it. But most certainly avoid sugar at all costs. Your digestion is going to be quite sensitive, so try to like get like a natural dose of the actual B vitamins, but make sure that the folic acid is made as a folate instead of folic, it's folate. And also make sure that the B12 is made methylcobalamin, so it needs to be made, it's this particular version of B vitamin B12 which is made in a natural way rather than in a chemical way. So taking B vitamin every single day, it's actually also okay to take it the very first thing in the morning as well. It works really well when it comes to your digestion, when it comes to your stomach, because it's going to be beneficial for your entire digestive system. And on another hand, just keep taking like organic acerola cherry powder. You need something to boost your immune system like there is no tomorrow, like every single sign at the moment. So you just need something like organic acerola cherry powder, organic acerola cherry capsules, or camu camu powder, or camu camu capsules. These are supplements are similar because they're both ridiculously rich when it comes to the actual its vitamin C content. So, and it's natural, and at the same time, if you can get like a natural D3 and natural zinc, and this combination of these three things is going to boost your immune system, but it's also going to re-energize you, you know, and it's going to make you feel so much better about yourself. Like very important indeed. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor, you just need to check with your GP. Only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. So now, my gorgeous aquamarinis, I'm going on the 3rd of December. The 3rd of December is the first important date, but before I go there, I would highly recommend you to get something like a chakra pendant. Is like a must little pendant to wear throughout December and January and even February, because it's beautifully, it has got a really positive effect when it comes to your own vibration, your own energy. It helps you to communicate, it helps you to open up yourself, it helps you with that individual particular balance that you need in order to deal with a difficult situation and difficult people in your lives. There are a lot of things that are going to be going on throughout December and January indeed. So all these things that are going to be going on are going to be beneficial when it comes to you spiritually growing, internally growing, and understanding things around yourself. But that in itself, it's also draining your energy on another hand, and when that happens, then we respond to things maybe in a different way how we would normally respond to. So this is why this chakra pendant is like a must. I would highly recommend you to wear this. This comes with a sterling silver setting and the sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel, my gorgeous aquamarini, as well. The 3rd of December is the first important date, you know, and indeed on the 1st and the 2nd of December already something is going to be on your mind. Something is going to be like, oh my god, this and that. Something very specific is going to be be on your mind when it comes to you being a little bit confused. It's about you maybe realizing the specific part of your life, but in particular when it comes to like some kind of suspicion, you know. This is very important because that particular suspicion, it's going to become super relevant on the 3rd of December 2021, and that's suspicion is just like kind of like you know, it's also going to make you feel like, you know, it's going to kind of like really affect your self-esteem and confidence, sadly in a little bit of negative way, because it's going to make you feel like you have got this fear of failure. Now, this is a very important time when you need to follow your 3rd psychic eye, and you need to be aware of the things within, because almost immediately, without you even realizing, you're going to become aware of the part of your life that it's actually that you need to abandon. So something came to an end, but in order to abandon that particular part of your life, you also need to return yourself to the certain point, certain stage in your life, which has got a very strong energy when it comes to within the last 36 months to 24 months to 36 months, there is something that you have to return to in terms of energy, in terms of you moving on, but also in terms of you kind of like making sure that you are realizing that there is like a little bit of an unfinished business then and there that you have to become aware of, because it's going to be an important later on, as I've already mentioned. On another hand, you know, this just caused a little bit of disharmony, you know, this suspicion as well, and you just need to understand that as soon as you think about this harmony, and as soon as something is not right, maybe with you and the people around you, like you just need to open up, you need to talk. Communication is very, very important when it comes to people that are very significant to you, people very close to you. They could be people like that are like a family members, friends, but also at the same time they could be people like that you work with, you know. Just remember, the communication is absolutely super important here, because you know, you are really going to learn something so specific here, and especially when it comes to the 3rd of December, in between the 3rd of December and the 8th of December, you will learn something very specific about your life, you know, and this in itself, it's going to come from some kind of a guru or some kind of spiritual person or some kind of spiritual teacher. You know, you're going to learn something very important, not to take a life as maybe seriously as, I'm not saying that you took life seriously, but it's all going to make sense, you know, at the right moment in time this is going to happen, and to not to take a life too seriously. You will know what I mean. I'm not saying that you were like, oh God, you know, dark Lala, sad Lala, you know, no, you know, no baby, no, but I'm just saying that this is all going to mean to you as well, because you have restricted yourself, you know, from doing something. You have restricted yourself from doing what you want to do, and maybe sometimes we don't even realize, you know, when these things happen. So this is going to be rather refreshing for you to understand. And also you see this 3 of Cups, absolutely wonderful. In between the 3rd and the 8th of December 2021, really powerful conclusion you are going to have. This is brilliant, because you know, it's about the inspiration that you're going to have, and the really negative energy is going to be shifted this year. At the same time, as soon as you become aware of this is like some kind of compromise, you know, it's to do with a conclusion, you know, but then again later on it's going to be some kind of compromise that is going to be connected to this, but then on another hand, this is all the part of the really big unfoldment. The things are going to start moving on and changing here for you, and this is going to put big smile on your face, because you will be able to do something really big. You will be able to do something really great, and then at the same time, you know, it is just like something that was, you know, it's going to help you to remove this problem, you know. So, oh gosh, my tarot cards fell on the floor. Oh gosh. This is going to help you to kind of like really remove the problem that maybe something was like draining you so much, the certain problem that hasn't even got anything to do with your life anymore. Karmically, you will be able to realize that you actually move on from it, which is absolutely brilliant. So let me just, sorry, just a second, my gorgeous Aquamarini. Oh gosh, okay, I have to go, sorry. Aquamarini. I just need to take my tarot cards, they're like on the floor, so at the moment I'm like on the floor on my knees, and I'm like taking tarot cards of the floor, you see, you will have some decisions, you know, that are very, very kind of harshly made, like quickly made, but they will be the right decisions, you know. They will be the right decisions. That's why they fell down like this in this particular way. Okay, so when it comes to the actual second date, my gorgeous aquamarini, but before I go there, I would highly recommend you to get something like a black obsidian. Is like a must, because there are going to be lots of situations that are going to be very draining. There are going to be some people that are going to be like rather strange and unusual, not necessarily negative, but they will be draining your energy like quite a lot throughout December and January and February. But what you need to remember, that every time when you are surrounded by the people that are very weird and unusual, or every single time when you feel like a little bit negative, every single time when you feel like a little bit spaced out, you know, black obsidian is superb, because it brings you that balance, that sense, that great sense, you know, of like moving on with your life, but also protecting your special energy by keeping you grounded, by protecting your energy, really. So this is something that I would highly recommend you. It comes with a sterling silver setting and a sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel, my gorgeous aquamarini, as well. The second dates are going to be quite significant in between the 11th and the 19th of December. Now, do you know what? In between the 11th and the 19th of December, the first thing that I need you to do is to realize, you're going to realize, do you see my little Coco here? Just his tail. Hi, Coco. Yeah, in between the 11th and the 19th of December, do you know what? You are going to become aware of some kind of hidden agenda by following your intuition, by being with yourself. Through your own intuition, you're going to become aware of the hidden agenda. That in itself is going to be brilliant, because it's going to give you the really powerful sense of determination. What exactly do you need to do in order to deal with the devilish person and rather devilish situation in your life? This person doesn't have necessarily be connected in your life, like physically around you, but it's maybe somebody who is out there who has got an influence and impact on your life in this particular way. So as long as you understand things and see things for what they are, you're on the right path. And this is exactly what is going to happen here, because determination is going to be great, and your determination is pretty much so going to reveal this devilish person and devilish situation. So this is very important when it comes to you doing the right thing. But on another hand, when it comes to the 11th and in between the 11th and the 19th of December, you know, this is going to be the time when you're going to feel a great sense of belonging. Just remember this. This is going to be the time when you're going to feel a great sense of belonging, which means, you know, that you're also, by the 19th of December, you're going to realize, you know, very important completion when it comes to your life. By the 19th of December, you're going to realize very important completion when it comes to your life. And then on another hand, you know, somebody who is Pisces is going to be playing an important role here in between the 11th and the 19th of December. Somebody who is Pisces is going to have a very interesting information to tell you, to give you, something that you're going to become aware of, and it's also going to add up even more colorful vibration into your life. But on another hand, you know, it's about the important results, what you have been working towards, which are going to reflect in a very deeper meaning, you know, the deeper meaning when it comes to your life, when it comes to things that you have kind of achieved and that you have been working on. This is all going to be connected to this deeper meaning, and at the same time, you're going to give a credit to yourself where the credit is due. Take care of yourself, like maybe reward yourself in some particular way. This would be very important to actually do this. On another hand, you know, it is about the actual traveling, something to do with also like in between the 11th and the 19th of December. It's to do with the traveling, that, you know, maybe you will be changing plans when it comes to traveling. You know, this is very important to mention. Maybe you wanted to travel, maybe you wanted to do this, maybe you wanted to kind of like go somewhere, but then at the same time, I don't think it's the right time, because it's showing as a wishful thinking, but it is just something to kind of it's going to be quite beneficial for you, because you're not going to go and travel, for example, at this moment in time, but then that is going to help exactly later on. You will see that there is going to be a powerful correlation with, you know, the certain lack of closure in your life, which is going to come out of it. You know, it's all going to be connected, and it's all like a spiritual domino. So the third important date, my gorgeous Aquamarini, it's going to be on the 27th of December. You know, very important day when it comes to justice, very important day when it comes to like you feeling the balance that you didn't feel in a long time, which is going to reflect on your harmony. You know, this is going to be very, very rewarding moment in time for you. So it's to do with the justice. What are you going to become aware of? Which message you're going to get? Which information you're going to get? What will you know then that you don't know now? It's going to mean to you so much, because it's going to put a big mama smile on your face. It's going to reflect on every single part of your life by bringing you the proper balance when it comes to you feeling optimistic, you feeling great, and you finally being able to move on with your life. It's something that was really holding you down and making you feel so negative and uncertain. So this is going to mean to you so much. You know, very important indeed. You know, it's gonna make you feel really great, but at the same time, you know, it's the advice that you are going to get at around the same time. There is a very interesting advice that you're going to get, that you're going to gain, because it's not going to be the direct advice, like maybe a couple of hours later, or maybe a couple of days later, or 3 days later. You know, you're going to become aware of this, like a lesson that you've learned through this situation, which is like an advice. You know, something very sacred is going to take place, and most certainly where you felt that you had a bad luck, you are going to have a very, very nice interesting point here. So the 27th of December is also going to bring you a nice turning point, like, oh my god, big turning point. Something is going to take place, something is going to happen, and it's really going to be big mama moment. It's going to be mind-blowing, because you're going to be surprised. And what you need to remember, that in itself is just going to take your attention away from things that you should be paying attention to. So make sure that you are on the 27th of December and until the end of that month, make sure that you are staying committed to the task at hand, because it's going to be very emotional in a good way, but it's just going to take your kind of like energy away from the things that you should be focusing on. And this is all part of your challenge. So just remember to make sure that you stay committed to the task at hand, because you're going to feel like, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, maybe just like that, purely because there is a lot going to be on your mind. You know, also just remember that in between the 27th of December and the end of that month, you need to understand that it's a very important unfinished business to deal with. That on the 27th of December and in between, from the 27th of December and the end of that month, this unfinished business is going to be absolutely obvious, because you're not going to be able to ignore it. It's just keep on coming into your mind. You know, something is missing, but you will see what else is missing. You know, there are so many elements that are going to be revealed through this particular situation, and an important unfinished business that you need to deal with, but also it's going to reflect on your desire, determination, your willpower, and also a goal, certain powerful goal, like nearly attained. You know, but at the same time, it's to do with an intelligent, very, very intelligent choice that you are going to make. It's to do with your desire, will, and very important resolution, which is going to take place later on. Again, very strong correlation with what you're doing right now and February 2022 indeed. So now, my gorgeous Aquamarini, I'm just going to say briefly what to pay attention to in the first part of December, mid part of December, and the last part of December. So the first part of December, I really hope that it's not too confusing, because I'm saying so much information here, and this reading seemed to be quite complex, but I really hope that it's not too confusing. So, and as I said, like now, the first part of December, what to pay attention to, mid part of December, and the last part of December. So the first part of December, you know, this is also going to become obvious here, especially within the first 6 6 days, you know, the end of the challenging times, you know, things are going to start looking up for you, which is most certainly going to bring you a welcome relief. This is a very important time for you indeed. It's something that you have been waiting for a while. It's going to start moving on. Important. The mid part of December, you know, it is just basically a lot is going to be going on in your life. Just remember that there are lots of weird people going to be around you, maybe taking things out on you, but don't bite back or don't like scream back or anything like that. Rise above the situation, because these people have got nothing to do with you in such a way where they feel negative or bad about you. So just try to go over it. Please try to have a sensible approach. Please, please, please do not waste your energy whatsoever. And then on another hand, you know, be practical about things that you're proceeding with throughout the mid-December. Very practical indeed. So you have to pay attention to lots of aspects at the same time, and don't rush with anything. The third part of December is like a basically, my lord, you know, try to take care of yourself, try to meditate, try to relax, try to reward yourself, try to kind of visit the forest, visit the nature as much as you can, because we are part of the nature, and nature has an absolutely mind-blowing effect and impact on us. And it's not only that, you need to understand that when you do this, you know, you are all meditating without even meditating, you know, but there are lots of like insights that you are going to have. So more so, the end of December, it's like every single time when you're chilling out and relaxing, you know, and things like that, just remember, as soon as you get that sacred state of your mind, when you're relaxed, you at the same time your spirit start drifting, and it becomes part of all sorts of dimensions, you know. And that at the same time, you need to understand that there's a lot of really wise and important things that are going to be coming to you. So it's something to pay attention to, very important indeed. When it comes to my gorgeous aquamarinis, those of you that are in relationship, you know, it's just a really great accomplishment that you are going to have, both of you, because it's something that you have been working on like very strongly for the last 9 months. You are going to be able, you are going to get a very important reward. It's to do with the materialistic gain, but then at the same time, you know, it's just basically going to need from both of you to explore. You need to understand that you have to explore more before you make a really major and very important decision in your life. Its exploration is so important. Do not rush with anything, my gorgeous aquamarinis, as a couple, please. Okay, so when it comes to those of you that are single and ready to mingy, my gorgeous aquamarinis, basically it is just like I don't know, you just need to be honest with yourself, because you seem to be like in a self-denial about something. So I think pretty much so, without you even realizing, my gorgeous aquamarini, maybe it's somebody from the past, from a while back, that you really fancy and you really like them, and you need to let them go. It's very important, because it is just someone here that you need to let go. So it's either and it's very highlighted very strongly, so it's either somebody for whom you used to be in the past and you still have feelings for them, just say bye bye baby, or it's somebody who you had a bit of like a stranger in the night, aquamarini in the morning, maybe you had a bit of like that, you know, and then you're still kind of holding on to that person. Or maybe you just saw someone and you were like, oh my god, they're amazing and I think that they're amazing, but it's like no baby, no. So you need to really move on from that, because it is not kind of genuine person, not necessarily bad person or a negative person, but it's just not a genuine person when it comes to like these feelings and emotions, and maybe you want different things. So you need to see who this is and move on from that person. As soon as you realize who this is, and as soon as you move on from that person in your mind, you know, almost immediately you are going to find yourself on a very interesting path. And I will show you, for those of you that are single one, as soon as you move away, as soon as you realize who this is, you know, like you just give a sign to the universe, you know. 8 of coins, you see, it's very important that, you know, there is someone else that is almost immediately going to come forward, but you just, it's gonna happen when you least expect it. You see this? Aquarius, Aquarius, when the moon is in the 7th house, and and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will guide all the planets, and aquamarini, aquamarini, aquamarini. You see this is why I'm saying that somebody's about to walk into your life, my gorgeous aquamarinis, when you least expect it. Stay committed to the task at hand, whatever you're doing, and try to not think, oh my god, someone is coming, someone is coming. No, baby, just release and let it go. When you least expect it, somebody very important is about to walk into your life, my gorgeous aquamarinis. So this is why this month is so important. Just remember, one step at a time, my babies, indeed. Okay, my gorgeous aquamarinis, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I send you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you, my gorgeous aquamarinis. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you all. Bye.